Were you at the CV show when they unveiled the new generation Daf CF and XF? I was, and if I'm honest, I was a little bit disappointed. What I wanted was brand new cabs. What I got was brand new sun visors. But in Daf's defence, there is far more to these two new trucks than just a mild facelift and a new coat of paint. They're 7% better on fuel economy. Now that's significant. So how have they done it exactly? Well, it might not be immediately obvious, but the aerodynamics are better. The grille is new. These deflectors are new. And of course the sun visor's new. And together this lot adds up to an improvement of 0.5%. Engines, MX-11 and MX-13 now have more power and more torque. There's a new turbocharger as well. Now, if you follow me around here, I'll show you what else is new. High efficiency rear axle, that adds a few percent. Smaller after treatment box. Not only is it smaller and frees up more space on the chassis, which of course is important for the UK market with our 6x2s, but it's lighter too, to the tune of 50 kilograms. But one of the most significant changes and improvements in fuel economy comes from the addition of the ZF Traxxon gearbox. Now I've heard good things about this box. I'm hoping it's as good on the road as I expect it to be. Let's find out. Automatic gearboxes have come on in leaps and bounds over the last 15 years or so. The first ones were about as decisive as my wife in a cake shop, but this is so precise, so quick. All the changes it makes are spot on. I really am a fan of the Traxxon. We're in the new 530 at the moment. This replaces the 510, so 20 more horsepower, but more importantly, 100 extra Newton meters of torque. And you really notice it on the hills too. It's great. Now, I asked DAF why they couldn't push it up to 550 or 560, and the answer was simple. They reckon the engine is capable of more horsepower, but there's a trade-off between power and fuel efficiency, and they say their customers would prefer a fuel-efficient truck than a powerful truck. Plus, I suspect they don't really want to get into a woolly-waving contest with the Swedes. So this truck comes with adaptive and predictive cruise control, but it also has something called dynamic cruise control that comes as standard. It's sort of a soft, intelligent cruise that works off the inclinometer. The speed limiter now has a downhill speed control, so it holds it within 2 kilometers of your set speed. It's effective. We're in the CF now, and I like this truck. It just gets better and better. I think it's best described as being like a really comfortable pair of shoes. There are newer shoes out there, but they could give you blisters. This won't. This is just so intuitive, so driver friendly, so natural. It's a really nice truck to drive. Yes, it does have its limitations, which are mainly down to the age of the cab. For instance, there's not a lot of space here because of the shape of the door. Also, the steering wheel doesn't move out of the way fully, so that limits your cross-cab access somewhat. And they still haven't given the driver an external locker for right-hand drive. But other than that, it's difficult to fault this truck, really. The interiors of both the CF and the XF are new, and I like them. The fit and finish is excellent. Starting here, new instrument binnacle. The dials are really easy to read. The steering wheel now has the controls for the predictive and the adaptive cruise control built in, so you don't have to fumble around over here. All the different switches can be moved around and configured to exactly as the driver wants them. It's got a new heater, a new night heater, a new bunk, the list goes on. I'm in the XF Super Space cab here, and as you'd expect, storage really is phenomenal. What don't I like? Well, the driving position is still a bit low, and if I'm honest, this A-pillar is a bit too wide for my liking, but that can only be changed with an entirely new cab. Now, I said at the start I was disappointed that DAF hadn't introduced 2 new cabs, but on this occasion I do actually understand why they haven't. It's because in 2021 or 2022, new EU legislation will allow an extra 50 centimetres or so at the front of a truck. So all trucks will have to be redesigned anyway. So why would you spend millions of euros developing new cabs now knowing you'd have to scrap them in 5 years' time. So incidentally, when this does happen in 2022, what you can expect is more of a raked windscreen. It'll be more bulbous at the front here, and it'll also be curved around more here. The idea is it will protect the driver in the event of a crash, more aerodynamic, and the windscreen will be a bit lower, so you'll have a better view of vulnerable road users as well. So I understand why the new generation Daf CF and XF don't have new cabs, but I still think it would have been nice if they'd had something a bit different on the front, maybe new headlights or a radically different grille, just something to get the truck spotters excited. But from a driver's point of view, I think drivers are going to be pleased. There's lots of really good improvements. And from an operator's point of view, they're definitely going to be pleased. I mean, 7% fuel economy, that's significant, that is. I think it's fair to say, like fine wines, the Daf CF and XF do continue to get better with age.